Hi, this is Cha-Cha Dave. Tonight I'm going to make Eggplant Beef Burger Supreme in Filo dough with a side dish of vegetable Obrien potatoes. We're going to start with the potatoes. The Eggplant Beef Burger is a beef Wellington style concept. It's very different to the tooth, but I'm going to start now first with the potatoes. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to take these potatoes which have been parboiled and they're going to go into the hot pan. I'm using this pan. The potatoes were already boiled, and how I do this is, and the skins stay on. Okay? So you put them in slices like that, so they're little chunks, and so they really are already cooked, but they need to get crisped up with the oil and butter, which I have already in the pan. Okay, now, so I'm going to put these in with the rest of the potatoes. Okay, so the pan should be quite hot. Okay, and that's going to saute. While that's sauteing, I'm moving everything over to one side. I'm using the electric fry pan because I can lower it and let it simmer slowly while I do something else. I don't have to constantly watch it. Okay? So now, next thing I'm going to do is to put in the chopped onions. And eventually, then I'll incorporate everything over in together, but I want to do this separately. Okay? After the onions are in, I'm going to put in the green peppers, which have been chopped. Now, Obrien potatoes are just generally onions, peppers, and potatoes. I'm adding vegetables in it because it's a more flavorful dish, and it's a better side dish to have a little bit of vegetables in there because the beef burger in the Filo dough has a lot of carbs. So at least this you're going to get some vegetables along with your meal. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to put in is zucchini, which has been washed and cubed. Alright, this has to saute a little bit. And then the carrots, which have been parboiled, not totally cooked, because they'd be too hard with the rest of this. Okay, then I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on top of everything. The next thing I'm going to put in at the very end here is some chopped garlic. I have 3 cloves of garlic. And you're just going to put that over on the top, and you're going to let it sit on the top because garlic tends to burn, and you want it to settle in. Alright, you can turn your potatoes over. They're soft already. And I'm going to let this saute for a little while, for about 15 minutes. Oh, this is Chef Cha-Cha Dave. I didn't know anybody was here. We're going to continue, and I'm going to make the Beef Burger Supreme now. I'm going to assemble it. This is a springform pan that the Filo dough goes into it. The Filo dough is here. You have to keep it covered with a wet towel, a damp towel, because it falls apart very easily. It's very delicate. Okay? And I put 2, 3, or 4 sheets is fine because you need a little bit of substance for the Supreme Burger. I'm going to put a little butter on there. Then I'm going to take another couple sheets. Okay, and that goes on top of that. And then I'm going to put a little bit more butter on it. Okay, now what I do is I'm going to put it inside this pan, butter side down. Okay, like that. And it's very delicate. Fold it up, tuck it in. Now, something that my grandmother used to do is put it, no, wait a minute, my grandmother never did that. My grandmother's Italian. She never made this. But I'm making this. We're going to put a little tortilla in the bottom, and that's like the foundation Alright, that's going to hold everything together. Push that down in there. Okay, first thing we're going to start with is an onion. Just one onion at the bottom. Then we're going to put some mushrooms on top of the onion. Okay, then we're going to put a beef, put one of these little babies in here like this. Push it down, fill it up in there, okay? And then you want to put some cheddar cheese on top of that. Okay, and then you want to put a slice of tomato on top of that. And then another piece of eggplant here. We have, actually it's the first slice of eggplant. We're going to put 2 eggplants on here. This eggplant has been grilled in a pan, very hot, no oil whatsoever. You just put it on there, put a press on the top. It makes these nice lines on it, and it's just much healthier. You don't need that extra oil. Now I'm going to put a little ketchup, comes next. Okay, then we're going to put chilies on top of that, which have been sautéed in a little bit of olive oil. It's been seeded and then grilled tight with a little bit of oil, not much. Alright, then I'm going to put another piece of beef on top. Alright, you want to press that in. Try to make these patties very thin and try to make them so that they would fit right into the size of these little springform pans. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to put on there is a little mayonnaise. Maybe it's a little bit more than a little, but it's all good. Okay, then another piece of eggplant. Alright, the grill marks are there. That's not that important. You could do it in a flat pan, but it just, I think, gives a little bit of flavor, a little bit more barbecue flavor. Okay, put that onion on there. Next thing, we're going to put another little tomato on top of that. Okay, then on the top of that goes some Velveeta cheese. Alright, so there's cheddar cheese in there and Velveeta cheese. Now we're going to cover this up, pull all of the pastry, all of the Filo up to the top, cover it up as much as you can. Alright, push it down, tuck it into the spring pan all the way around. If a little bit of the cheese pokes out, you just cover it with a little of the Filo. When this bakes, it's going to be crispy and it's going to be very tasty. Okay. Now after you do that, one little trick that I've learned is to put a little water on your hand, just wet it a little bit, and then it's going to make it more malleable. You can like work with it a little bit better because in the air it dries right away. Now we're going to put a little bit of butter on top of that. Okay, and this is going to go over here, and now I already made one before, and these go into the 400-degree oven, which has been preheated. And it's going to be in that oven for about 15 minutes, maybe 20. Check on it after 15 minutes. When it's all golden brown, it's ready to come out. This is Antonio Carlos Jobim again. A little Brazilian music. I just love to have music when I cook. At any rate, it's been 15 minutes, and I took these out of the oven, and here's what it looks like. Okay, and I'm going to open up the spring pan, lift that off. There's a little pan at the bottom. That comes off. This sets right on top like that. Okay, and here are the potatoes that we cooked in the beginning of the video. These are vegetable Obrien potatoes with carrots, peppers, onions, and they would sautéed in a little olive oil, and that goes on the top of the plate there. And this is much better than French fries. It has more different taste textures than a regular French fries with it. You can also put a little ketchup around the side. You don't have to. You can also put some hot sauce around it. And you just put a little ketchup around like that. Okay, and then I'm going to taste one. So here's the other one. Cut it open so you can see what it's like inside. Look at the layers. That's a beautiful thing. I'm going to cut a little piece off. I'm going to taste this. I'm going to try to get this whole thing in my mouth if I can. Oh my God, this tastes like a hamburger. But a Supreme sensation hamburger. Completely different. It's a little more prep work, but it's definitely worth it. Yum. This is really delicious. Come visit me again for recipes with a twist.